Clone's house. So I'm just going to record this session so that we can have it uploaded for people who registered but were unable to join. Thank you again for joining. I hope that you're having a really good day. So we'll try our best to ensure that this session is not longer than it needs to be. So before we start, I just wanted to lay down some quick ground rules. Because if you'd like to ask a question, you can please indicate, raise your hand. And if you're unable to speak, you can drop your questions in the comment section. Or in the chat box, I beg your pardon. My colleague is here and she's going to keep me updated as to the questions that come in, and then we'll see what we can do about answering them. So quick one, I'd like to ask this question to everyone. If you had one skill that you could learn in 24 hours, what would it be? And secondly, what is one skill that you wish you had learned earlier? So let's see if we can get that answered. If you had 24 hours to learn a skill, and they say pick any skill in the whole wide world and you'll be able to perfect it and be a professional, what skill would that be? And then secondly, what is one skill that you wish you had learned early in life, or you wish you were very proficient in at the moment? So let's see what you have to say before we move forward. In the meantime, I'm just going to display the agenda that we have for today. Sorry, this is glitchy, so I'm going to pause and resume it again. Awesome, we're back. Okay, so someone said data analytics. Thank you, John. I think that's a really good skill. So is that what you wish you had 24 hours to learn, or is that a skill you wish you had learned earlier on, just to be sure? Anyways, I'll be looking forward to our responses. In the meantime, we're going to move forward. So this is the agenda that we have today. We're going to go through the overview of what the Core Life Skills program is, what YouthPrep is. We'll go through the program structure and the modules that we have, and then what participants would gain at the end of the program and how to apply. Then we'll have a session for questions and answers, just in case we're done and you still have some extra questions that you believe we were not able to speak on. And after that, we would be calling it a day. So I'm moving forward now. I'm still looking forward to receiving your responses, so you can still drop it in the chat box, and I'll get to it after our presentation. All right, thank you, everyone. I have no idea why this keeps happening, but if you would give me a moment. All right, so what is the Core Life Skills program? So the Core Life Skills program is one of our flagship programs that we have under YouthPrep. And what you might ask is YouthPrep. So YouthPrep is a program that we have under the Clone's House Foundation African Development Social Enterprise. It's designed to tackle, youth unemployment by promoting certain skills, by promoting leadership skills, entrepreneurship skills, and then other basic life skills that we believe Nigerian youth don't necessarily have access to, but something that they can and they should be able to benefit from. So our target is marginalized and underserved individuals between the ages of 18 to 35. And then what we hope to do is to create practical ways for growth through skills development, through real-world learning opportunities, through exposure to what is possible, what you are capable of doing, and how you can be able to be well equipped for life outside without feeling like you're lacking anything. And so one of these flagship projects that we have is what is called the Core Life Skills program. And so what is the core of this program? It basically helps to bridge the gap that we have between the academic life of a person and then everyday challenges of life, work, and navigating what it is that life entails. And so most times we have people who after school are not exactly sure how to bridge the gap between what they have learned in school and how what they have learned can be imputed in the society today. And so we're hoping that the Core Life Skills program is able to, bridge that gap And so what is the experience like? What can you expect? So first off, it's important to note that um, the program is going to be over the course of 5 days. It's an intensive program, it's a very practical program, is all encompassing. So it's 5 days, hands-on sessions, and then it's been designed to help you know the basics and hopefully the intermediate part of what it is that you can do. You can't learn everything in 5 days, but what we're hoping to do is to, have the foundation and set you up for a proper building for how your life can be. So some of the topics that we'll be speaking on is, setting and reviewing your personal goals, excuse me, critical thinking, problem solving, financial intelligence, artificial intelligence literacy, which is something that is so prevalent right now. So those are some of the sessions. This is not by any means all of what we'll be taking, but it's a few of them. And so over the course of these 5 days from 9 to 3 p.m. daily, we would have these individuals come into the workspace, and then we'll have all these hands-on sessions. So these sessions are not, all those slide thought sessions, but things that you're actually practicing there. So you're going to be speaking with your group members, you're going to be speaking with mentors, you're going to have expert-led discussions, you're going to have learning activities. And so you're going to have different opportunities where you can both engage physically and then engage your mind as well. And so one thing that we're hoping to be able to achieve as well is to ensure that the people who are selected are available for the 5 days, to ensure that they come from 9 to 3 p.m. So that's what the experience is going to be like. It's an in-person thing, it's not virtual. You're going to have to be available 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for those 5 days. I believe that it's worth sacrificing your time for what you're going to gain. Moving forward, what will you gain? I believe that I've already, you know, touched on some of these, but I'm still going to speak on it. So you're going to gain life skills, basic life skills. You're going to gain employability skills. You're going to learn how, for those who don't know, how to be able to couch what it is that is a personal goal and a personal statement for yourself. You're going to be able to learn how you can walk through and have a map for yourself. And so you have access to mentors, access to experts and professionals who are going to share their experiences, who are going to share real world insights, and then be able to provide guidance for everyone involved. At the end of this program, you'll also be able to earn a certificate of completion, and then you would be able to have optimized your LinkedIn page for those who already have a LinkedIn page, or create a LinkedIn page and optimize it for those who have not been able to. You'll also be able to strengthen the CV you have, to know what to put on your CV, what not to, and then you'd also be able to learn real world practice. And so we're going to have live simulations of interview sessions, live simulations of sales sessions for those who are, in the business line. But by all means, everything is going to be hands-on. And so what do you do? How can you apply? How can you be a part of this? So on the website, you have a full list of, qualifications. My colleague has dropped the link in the chat box, but if you check there, you have a full link, but I'll just be giving you an overview of what it is that you need. So the first thing to note is that the application closes August 31st, which is why we are doing this session a long time before that, so that you're able to know what to expect, to know if this program is for you, and how you want to go about it. So between the time when you have made this application to September 5th, we will contact applicants and begin to speak with them very briefly, 30 minutes or less, to just get to know them better, to be able to know their ability to commit to the hours that they need to commit. And then after that, by 5th of September, the first cohort selection will be announced, and all those who have been able to scale through would then be reached out to, and then we can now think of moving forward. The programs in itself starts September 10th. I believe that I'm correct. Yes, it does start then. And so before we begin the program, we need to onboard the people that we have, invited. I'm sorry, I said 10th. 10th is a Sunday, so it starts September 11th. Wait, is this correct? I'm sorry, I was looking at August. It starts September 15th, which is a Monday, and then it ends on September 19th, which is a Friday. And so it's a 5-day activity. Yeah, so if you want to apply, these are the things you need to bear in mind. It's targeted at people who are 18 to 35, people who are in underserved community for now in the FCT. So please bear that in mind. Because it's in person, we need to ensure that the people are in the FCT, in the communities that we are targeting. So please do well to go through the requirements before you apply, and wishing you all the best. So to stay updated to all that we do, these are our point of calls. We have the website, our newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter, and you can follow us on Clone House Foundation on Twitter, which is now X. So yes, that is what it is. If you have inquiries, or if you have questions that you believe you've not been able to answer and you think you don't want to ask it here, you can also send us an email at training@cloneshouse.com. My colleague is going to drop the email in the chat box as well, so that you're able to know what to do. And with that, brings us to the end of this session. As promised, it's very brief. It's very straight to the point. And so this is now the time for your questions. Do you have questions? Do you have comments? Are there things that I may have mentioned that are not exactly clear? Or is there something you had in mind that hasn't been addressed? So this would be the moment to say thank you so much, Penom, for dropping the links and for putting the email in there. So do you have questions? Do you have comments? I'm going to mute for a minute just so I can let anyone who wants to speak. My colleagues are also here. Thank you so much for joining, guys. If I missed anything and you would like to jump in and say a few words, please feel free to do that. Thank you. So I'm just going to maybe do a countdown from 10. And if no one stops me, it means there are no questions. So 10, feel free to interrupt me. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So with that, it means we have no questions, everything is clear. But at the same time, if you remember questions you'd like to ask in the future, you can do well to send us an email or shoot us a DM on X, and we'll be sure to respond to you as quickly as possible. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Zira. Thank you, Diana. I hope I called that properly. Thank you, John. Thank you, Painom. Thank you guys for joining. Awesome, all clear. That's great to hear. We wish you all the best in your application, and I'm looking forward to seeing the applicants. It promises to be an amazing time. And so I truly hope that you're able to participate. And even if not in this first cohort, but in subsequent cohorts, so because it's not just going to be one cohort. So we do hope that you're able to take advantage of these and learn and grow and just make as much impact in your life. Yeah, so it's a free program, just to say. I mean, I thought that would be obvious, but in case it is free, you're not having to pay anything. We are willing to teach all these things for free, and we truly hope that you make it through. So thank you everyone for coming again. Thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.